Hello, everyone. Nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and we're kicking off Monday with some news. So, yeah, we're going to dive in. We've got a sneak peek preview, the official preview of Chaos Awakes from Raid. We're going to check it out together, and news on the CvC stuff that's happening as well. Of course, just to mention that right at the start, I'll be doing my regularly scheduled CvC stream tomorrow, so I will see you guys for that around about when this starts. So in 22 hours 14 minutes from when I'm recording, I will be live for a couple of hours, and yeah, we'll do some CvC together. We don't know what the main rewards here are. Probably relics. Sorry, relic fragments, not relics. Relic fragments. I see in the personal rewards there are some relic fragments up for grabs, and yeah, actually, one thing I'm slightly curious about, Faction Wars. Oh, yeah, look at that. Hard mode of Faction Wars actually starts to count for a lot. So we might even do our Faction Wars stages. We'll see if we've got time. If I don't have time, I've got my Faction Wars video coming out today as well. We'll see how we do tomorrow. We might do it on stream. We might not. Obviously, I'm going to build a new mythical I pulled and so on. It's going to be good fun. In fact, let's cover the 15x and then we'll see the sneak peek after. These are the 15x events that are happening for CvC while we're talking about CvC. One thing to note, actually, I think I misspoke about this. The 2x for Mythicals actually ends today. So it ends in 21 hours and CvC starts in 22. So they don't overlap. And same thing for same thing for this Champion Chase tournament. It ends in 22 hours. CvC starts in 22 hours and 8 minutes after. So they don't overlap. Now, the Anniversary Path event does overlap, and that's probably going to be a big focus for me during CvC. We'll probably do a bunch of champ training and I'm probably going to grab the Eternal and the Void and probably call it there. I mean, we'll see, but probably we'll call it there. But yeah, and oh, by the way, the Fusion, of course, starts on the 5th. It starts on Thursday. Fusion warm-up event is there already. It's for upgrading artifacts and accessories. There's not too much in here, but, you know, we might as well do it every day if you got a little bit of silver. Okay, back to the 15x. On Tuesday, we've got Freya, Kyoku, Knave of Hearts, Islin, Wixwell, Tuhanarak, Razor, and Khan. And then on Wednesday, we've got Elva, Duchess, Glaikid, Kaja, Pythion, Sulfurion, Lady Noelle, and Raka. I think Wednesday is a lot better than Tuesday overall. On Tuesday, Freya is really good. Let's actually switch this to green. Yeah, I think Freya is really, really good. Can't really go wrong with her. Kyoku, I think she's okay. There's something about Kyoku. If you are looking for a Shadowkin to keep your team alive, there's not a lot of options. They're a pretty squishy faction. Kyoku's actually pretty good. The ally protection, the AoE decrease attack. She could be healing allies, giving them increased defense. She's probably pretty good. So she might actually, you know what? I've been pretty negative about her before. I think she might come into her own a little bit against some of the bosses for Shadowkin if you're struggling. So she is one to watch. Knave of Hearts, I wouldn't really recommend, I'm sad to say. Islin is decent. I would say his main role is really to go with the Trunda team. He's quite good with Trunda teams because you use Fina and you have to bring a bunch of high elves. I'm not a massive fan of Islin apart from that. He is useful for faction crypts, as we've seen, though. Wixwell's very good. I'd say Wixwell's probably a bit better overall. He's a great champ. The last year's Community Week's Fusion. Great Fusion. Makes Clan Boss basically free. So there's something to consider for that. And yeah, we'll come back to the Voids. From these ones, these are all really good. You really can't go wrong. Elva is great. She's like, I'd say Elva's very good. She'd be a top tier pick for me. Duchess, you know what? I actually would probably go for Elva over Duchess, but just by a little bit. Reason being, I think Elva is just a bit easier to slot into, particularly Ice Golem hard. She's really good for that. If you're struggling for someone to keep you alive, Chimera, she's really good as well. It's because she got such short cooldowns. Like, I would use Elva in PvE over Sifi. You know, I've got a 6-star Sifi and a 3-star Elva. I use a 3-star Elva for PvE instead, generally speaking. They have functionally the same sort of passive, but Elva does a lot more healing with her A1, usually. And yeah, it's just the full cleanse and the shorter cooldowns makes her a bit more useful than the Sifi generally, I find. I think she's very good. Duchess is obviously great as well. Glaikid is really, really strong too. Again, he doesn't have any healing, but he has a ton of buffs, and he's got you that damage boost, 10% damage boost. If he is perfect failed. He's got a ton of buffs and AoE revive. He doesn't have any healing. His revive is a bit weaker than most revives, but he's bringing you tons of buffs and damage. So he's more of a damage focused reviver. Kaja is really good. Obviously, you've got the biohack strat. I put her maybe a bit lower. Kaja is a little bit niche. I think Kaja's main role, it's a funky strategy a few players use. I'm obviously using her a lot in Faction Wars Hard because she's got the 20% turn meter boost. She's got very high base speed and she's got a decent speed aura. It's not the best. She doesn't have the highest base speed. She's close, but not the best. Her aura is a little bit weak. Her turn meter, 20% is good, but not the best. But you do have players like it's the biohack strategy, which is like just go for all the casual progressives and maybe I can't remember if he did some prisms or something. Get like a +4 Kaja, and people don't want to ban the Kaja, right? They just don't want to ban her. But then you've got a really fast champion, and in live arena, you're basically guaranteed that nobody on the enemy is. It's highly unlikely the enemy is going to pick Kaja themselves. So it's like, ooh, I put my fastest gear on this champion, and she's like almost guaranteed to get through. Whereas let's say I've got my fastest gear on Arbiter. There's a decent chance the enemy's going to pick Arbiter. Whereas it's very unlikely they pick Kaja. And also, they'd be more likely to ban Arbiter. People can be reluctant to ban a Kaja. So there's something to be said there. She's definitely a niche pick, though. Pytheon, he's very solid for Faction Wars. And yeah, then, so that's sort of what I'd be thinking there. For me, I would say, for me, it would be Elva number 1. And then I'd put Joint second. Duchess, Glakid, and maybe Freya number 3. This is for like the general players overall. That's probably how I would rank it. I'll put a star beside Wixwell, which is if you are still progressing on Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, then yeah, he just gives it to you for free. That being said, you probably don't have the shards to be chasing a Vault Keeper Wixwell if you're not doing Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. Like, that just makes sense. If you're a big spender and you're trying to get into Ultra Nightmare, it's worth noting. But yeah, realistically, probably not. That's probably what I would do. I do like Elva probably the best for that versatility in the PvE, being the PvE reviver. Like Senna, Galathir, you've got a couple of better options, but it's hard to find. It's a mythical and a void legendary. Elva is great. Duchess and Glaika just a little bit behind because they don't have healing, a little bit harder to use, but they do bring in the Perfect Veil, which is a bit more rare and good for Hydra. And then Freya, a bit more arena focused, not quite as generally good as these other champs, which is why I'm putting her number 3. And yeah, then you could reasonably pull for almost anything in this, because they're all going to help you, I think, a lot in Faction Wars. For the Voids, to Hanorach, Razor, Khan, Sulfurion, Lady Noelle, Raka. My number 1 here would probably be Sulfurion, would be number 1. He's great for arena, great for any AoE burn stuff. He has been nerfed for the event dungeon. I'll have a guide on the event dungeon later in the week. I haven't got around to testing it yet in the test server, but I will. But yeah, Sulfurion, the AoE burn activation, very, very good for for the previous event dungeons, though Burn's been nerfed for the current one, but really good against spider bosses, stuff like that. AoE revive, shielding, he is really strong. I'd be giving him number 1. After that, it definitely falls off a good bit. I think they're all fairly reasonable options, like Lady Noelle. Lady Noelle is very good. I like her mostly for arena, but she's very strong for Faction Wars too. The AoE revive or the AoE freeze, it's a phenomenal move. She just sort of at her best when she's paired up with, with Sir Nicholas. Raka, I think Raka is a bit underrated. I'm going to put Raka actually a bit below, but somewhat similar. So we'd have like Noelle, then Pytheon, then Raka, roughly. I think Raka's pretty underrated. She's great. Again, good healing, shielding, reviving. I think she's probably very strong for Chimera. And Oryx is kind of rough, I think. They've got some decent epic revivers, but she is better. So Raka is pretty nice. Actually, I wouldn't say no to a Raka. Day 1, a bit weaker. Grazur, Khan, to Hanorach. They're all similar enough sort of level. Khan, we had a guaranteed on him recently. Great damage dealer, great for Faction Wars. Good for arena. I don't know. I think Khan's a bit underrated, to be completely honest. Grazur, I'd say, is probably a bit better overall. because he's really good against bosses and brings you that great control for waves. And to Hanorak, there is a free login code for to Hanorak. And sorry, I should actually I've put this too long. How do I erase? It doesn't really matter, but this is a little too long here because I wouldn't be putting them above Freya. So I don't know. Razor, I put a little bit ahead, and I put Tuanarak ahead, and Freya a bit more ahead, something like that. Extend everyone's ranking lines a little bit, and it will be fine. Yeah, probably Grisor to Hanorak. Very helpful for progression, maybe not so good late game. All very strong for Faction Wars Hard. So it's honestly a pretty great set of champs. It's good. Personally, I'm not going to be pulling for any of them. Yeah, there you go. I've got half of them already, so so it is what it is. Right, that's what's happening for CvC. I'm going to be saving shards. Let's take a look at the Chaos Awake sneak peek. And this is the reason to save shards. It's the only reason I'm nervous about pulling all my primals at the weekend. Let's take a look. Let's make sure we've got to put it to 1080p here. Let's go.
Hey everyone, today's video is a call to arms. A terrible calamity has befallen the lands belonging to those in Nyresen Union. Hordes of demons
it's the Nyresen, not the Nyresen. Nyresen, okay?
Spawn have poured through and now threaten to overtake Teleria. We're excited to give you a sneak peek at Raid's newest global event, Chaos Awakes, which kicks off on June 5th. So what's in store?
2 months.
There's
Cool.
new champions, powerful relics, the return of the event dungeon, a new type of coalition event, and a host of other smaller events and tournaments with awesome rewards to get excited about. Let's dive in.
That's right.
Chaos Awakes
You might get, wait for it, 50,000 silver. Oh, think of all the gear you're going to not upgrade with that. Exciting.
Function a little differently to previous global events with 2 phases. Phase 1 will start on June 5th and run until July 3rd, which
Basically
is where
1 month.
Phase 2 begins. Oh, and the Bastion will appear a bit more sinister than you may be used to. Oh, and turn up the volume to experience the brand new soundtrack we've composed specifically for Chaos Awakes. The mastermind behind this invasion is the devilish Kirosa the Covetous. This mythical monstrosity has seized control of the event dungeon and will be the first mythical champion you'll face there. Don't miss this chance to grab some exclusive pinpoint gear before the event dungeon slams shut again on August 6th. Also, keep an eye out for special summoning events to have a shot at recruiting this conniving demon spawn.
That is very high base speed, by the way. I have seen her on the test server, but I haven't tested her yet. But yeah, 110 base speed is very, very high. And she's got good base stats. Remember, this is an interesting champion where she gets a crazy amount of damage reduction from her passive and her self buffs. And then like her damage and her shield scales off attack. So you're going to be building her high attack. She's got 1500 base attack in her support form. What does she have in her alternate form?
Keep an eye out for special summoning events.
1641, yeah. So, and she's even got pretty high HP in her alternate form. So she's going to be kind of a menace.
Conniving demon spawn. The other major feature coming to Raid in Phase 1 of Chaos Awakes is the Coalition event.
Looks sick, by the way.
You'll need to work alongside your fellow players.
Ooh, here we go. So we can actually see some rewards. I'm guessing this looks actually like what they would actually do. So 1.22 billion. You know, that they squeezing in that extra 0.02 billion just to be sure. A legendary skill tome, a barrel, a 6-star mythical chaos ore, epic tome, and an ancient shard. Okay, fine. You know, not the most exciting stuff, but solid on a new account. Epic books are great. Barrel's cool. Legendary skill tome is great for many players. 6-star chaos or mythical is nice. So fine. They are the big rewards. So that's like global progress. To receive them, you must earn at least a certain amount of points. Okay. And then you've got your personal points down here. So these are looking like pretty small rewards. I see there's like 750 small coins, 4-star speed lift. There is a sacred shard as the top reward. So that's pretty nice. Okay.
To complete quests and rack up points
looking at these bottom rewards. They're blurring them out. We've got some medium oils and extracts. Maybe some medium coins. Hard to tell when it's...
There are 2 types of quests, repeat and limited. Repeat quests can be completed multiple times before refreshing, while limited quests can only be completed once. It will.
Oh, there's loads of these. Oh, wow. Okay. Hang on. This is new info right here. Let's just double check this. So, again, he didn't mention it, but I do think that the key with the repeat quest is going to be this do it one time. You can see that this, you can do it one time, which is complete 5 of these quests. You get 75 coins for that, whereas you get 15 for the regular one. So, I think just doing this, the big repeat quest every day, or I guess once every 3 days, is the major goal. And I'm not sure how many extra you're going to need to do, but that would definitely be the thing to aim for within the 3-day. It looks like it's going to be a 3-day period. Do 5 of the first 2 so that you finish off that one. Okay, let's see the limited quests.
Limited quests can only be completed once.
Okay, so we got 3 different difficulties. That's cool. We've got basic, expert, and elite. The basic ones, stage 10 of the dragons there, a normal difficulty, less than 65 turns. Definitely doable within the first month of the game. Stage 10 of Ice Golem, less than 45. Okay, stage 10 of all the dungeons. Expert quest, get Tholan. So do the fusion. Fully upgrade his skills. You kind of need to save legendary books for that. Stage 10 of the event dungeon using Tholan. Fully unlock his masteries. Oh, wow. This is very specific. These are those expert quests. That's not something you're going to stumble into by accident. You need to do the fusion. You need to upgrade him. You need to target all that stuff. This could be like if he's not useful for you, this sucks, right? Having to do the fusion, if you don't want to do the fusion, you're basically giving up on. You're gonna have to do a crazy amount of repeat quests to make up for it. I don't know. Potentially skipping his skills could be something doable, but yeah, that's interesting. Awaken him to level 5 or higher. Yeah, basically, there's going to be a hero's path or something. Maybe a Titan event for his soul. And you basically have to do that or get crazy lucky with soul stones. And realistically, have to spend a lot of money. Essentially, just think of this as do whatever event they do for his soul. Clear stage 30 of the event dungeon using him. That's going to be very difficult. Survive 175 turns against Hydra on Nightmare. Only boss turns count. That's actually surprisingly, that might actually be quite hard. Might have to nerf my team to get that. That's funny. Do 112 million or more damage to the Chimera on Ultra Nightmare using 1 key. These elite quests are tough. You have to be very far into the game to be able to do that. Very far in. The expert ones at least seem doable.
Will remain active throughout the entirety of the coalition.
Okay, do Minotaur, Event Dungeon, Stage 10. Yeah, so like the basic quests are basic enough. I think that players who've been playing for a month or two could reasonably do it. So this is like for players in the first few months of the game. The medium quests get superior oils from Sand Devil, Shogun, Stage 15 of Iron Twins. This is players who've been playing for a few months to a year or two. And then the elite quests seem to be more like you've been playing for a couple of years to you're an end game player. That's how it looks to me.
Actually, they'll require a bit.
Yeah, artifacts in the forge, silver for gear. That's a fun one. Kill 666 champs from the Demon Spawn faction. Any game mode, wins only. That's fun. Ascend some champions. Win 20 live arena battles. That's easy. 36 million damage on Chimera on brutal or higher with 1 key. Yeah, cool. Clear all double boss stages in Dead Rise on hard. Okay, clear all double boss stages in Soul Cross on hard. That's a good bit harder. Funny enough, the double boss stages are usually not as difficult as some of the waves. It can be getting to the last couple of double boss stages is the more tricky thing, I think.
Complete them and are
okay, there we go.
Categorized into 3 difficulty levels,
yeah.
with each one offering progressively more points.
Mm-hmm.
What are the points for, I hear you ask? Well, coalition points can be used to unlock personal rewards and work towards special coalition rewards for all players.
And the thing here, it's very unclear to me how many of these you'll actually have to do. I guess we'll try work it out when we get a full list. That'll be like a SAF job with the website, figure it out, because I'm too lazy to work that stuff out. But assuming
some of the coalition rewards earned across an entire server.
You see, you will get like multipliers on your points. So assuming you will ultimately get the 2x multiplier, you could then basically calculate. You need 12,000. So actually, you need 6,000 with the 2x multiplier. So you need 6,000 points total. It looks like. So you can work out. Okay, if I complete these number of normal quests, let's say you do the 5 repeat quests every day. or sorry, you get the 5 quest thingy done with every 3-day repeat over the 2 months. How many of the permanent quests you have to do, or if you're going to be skipping a certain number of permanent quests, these are how many extra repeat quests you have to do. That's definitely something we will be able to work out, most likely. And they could potentially always give extra points for events and stuff as well.
Boost the points
Don't know.
multiplier as well, benefiting every player's personal points. You'll be able to claim them before phase 2
here we go.
begins on July 3rd.
Here's all the rewards.
For the competitive among
like, there's some pretty good stuff in there. It's gonna be hard to get, guys. It's gonna be like Titan event level stuff. I mean, this basically, to me, this looks like a reskin Titan event right here. Like, you know, you've got a Sacred Shard, a Mythical Book, Chaos Ore, 5-star Chicken, 200 big coins. Feels very Titan eventy, but without any major reward. Like, you know, like if you miss out on one Sacred Shard, you know, the world doesn't end, guys. You know, if you're like, oh shit, I got to complete the whole fusion and book the whole fusion just to get one Sacred Shard and one Mythical Skill Tome, you know, it's not really good return on investment, is it? So, yeah, we'll see.
For the competitive among you, there's also a dedicated leaderboard for this event, so you can see who's contributed the most coalition points. Do your best.
You know, that would be cool if there was like a friends list or something. For me, I think the top 100 thing, I don't give a shit, right? In a pay-to-win game, it's just fucking stupid. But, I mean, it needs to be there, but it's also fucking stupid. And it's the same with all the leaderboards. I know there's more leaderboards coming as well. It's like, they're nice to be there, but whatever. At least if you could have, like, a friends leaderboard or a clan leaderboard or something. So, like, I can compare myself against players of similar level or, you know, just have a bit of fun, more social stuff. That's more interesting. Like, I really don't give a fuck about some oil baron who's got like $1 million in the game. Like, who gives a shit? I don't know. Someone does.
10 contributors can expect extra rewards for their outstanding efforts. Teaming up is one thing, but putting an end to the chaos also requires
cool artwork.
Powerful allies. You can add one such legendary champion to your collection via a fusion event running from June 5th to June 19th. This mysterious warrior doesn't wear shining armor, but he's an expert in battling the spawn of Cyroth and has a thirst for blood.
Cyroth.
With an knack for taking out bosses, minions, and enemies from the corrupted alliance, this fearsome fighter is a champion you'll want on your side. Curious? Keep your eyes peeled. We'll reveal more about him very soon. That's not all either. When Phase 2 starts on July 3rd, we'll launch a new chase event with it.
Lemonisi. Oh, here we go. Legendary Attack Champion. And yeah, you get the perfect soul after 14 days. Looks pretty standard. Ooh, here we go. Phase 2 is well coming up. So let's see. A1 reduces shield value or ignores defense. Cool. A2 strikes a target, removes buffs, does more damage based on turn meter. Sounds like a single target nuke. Number 3 decimates an enemy team with a chance for heal reduction, block buffs, and then probably a passive, strong against foes under heal reduction. Benefits when enemies heal or get shields. That's pretty unusual. She looks like she's Sylvan? Probably? Like the nature stuff in the background? Yeah, maybe. Interesting. Okay, so definitely a bit of a weird kit. AoE heal reduction, block buffs. Like, where do you use heal reduction? Not many places in the game. AoE block buffs is always good. You can't really go wrong with that. Helps in Hydra, helps in Chimera. It's not bad. Faction Wars Hard, she's likely to be incredible. Heal reduction and block buffs, both fantastic for Faction Wars Hard. So guessing she's Sylvan, depending on what faction she is, will depend on how useful she will be for you. Yeah, feels like a Faction Wars Hard sort of champ, which is maybe not the most exciting thing, but...
Log in for 7 days to get your hands on Lemonisi the
Oh, she's Sylvan, yeah.
Another legendary champion to aid your fight against Kurosa's forces.
Looks cool.
With impressive damage output, the ability to manipulate shields.
Impressive damage output. Just like 10% above the waist. Does no fucking damage. Oh, let's watch that again. That's beautiful. Here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Prepared to be impressed.
Kurosa's forces. With impressive damage output, the ability to manipulate shields, and a chance to remove any buffs. Lemonisi is a fantastic all-around champion. Phase 2 also brings some updates to the...
Here's Phase 2. Straightforward. An interesting opener shard. I guess you could just do a mystery shard. Not a big deal. These are typically straightforward enough. And yeah, you will get a 5-star soul for her. So look, it's a guaranteed 5-star soul champion. Probably Nature's Wrath. We'll do a full guide on her when we get her. Probably a Nature's Wrath champion. She's probably okay for Arena, where you might use Lightning Cage, but she's putting out debuffs. Nature's Wrath seems good. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Objectives during the second phase of the Lemon Easy Chase event. You'll now earn points simply by logging in, spending energy, and winning in arena battles. Your daily cap will still be 75 points, though, so nothing to worry about there. You didn't think we'd have a sneak peek video without
Yeah, he looks
looking at
sick.
some more new champions, did you?
He looks visually
Check
so
out
cool.
Graco's Turndrake and Balar the Lost. Sure, they're on the side of the demon spawn.
Note, I love this. Look at this. This is fun. Balar the Lost is part of the Sylvan Watchers faction, but he isn't exactly loyal to them. You know what? Yo, give me more of this lore. That's actually cool.
But that doesn't mean they won't
That's
make big
actually
additions
kind
to
of
your
fun.
collection. If you manage to get your hands on 4 of the legendary champions featured in this event by August 5th,
Good luck.
you'll earn yourself an in-game gift.
So, I mean, to get the 4 legendaries, free login champion, exceptionally easy to get. If you don't manage to get her, I don't know what to say. You know, you're beyond my help. The fusion depends how long you've been playing the game. It's doable early, like it's doable probably a month into the game, but very tough. You have to be, typically people doing that are content creators, been playing the game for years on a new account to know exactly what they're doing. Now, a few months in, maybe 3 to 6 months in, and fusion should be fairly solidly doable. It depends. I'm guessing one of these will probably be a Deck of Fate. Seems fairly likely. They might also be a Hero's Path reward. That could happen too. They could do one for like a champion training or champion chase tournament. I don't know if they have 2 of them up for grabs guaranteed. I'd say at least one of them will be a guaranteed champion, so like a Deck of Fate or Hero's Path. And then, I don't know. I would not expect to get full. I'm certainly not expecting to get all 4 legendaries, and you probably shouldn't either.
Gift. There's also a unique badge you managed to get all 5 champions, Kurosa included. Finally, we've got 8 new relics coming to help you stand against this chaos.
Yeah, we looked at the relics already. I'm going to do a full ranking of them in the next couple of days. We'll do a video probably on it. Yeah, probably will. Definitely be a post on hellhades.com. I think the mythicals are both great. And this legendary one makes your HP burners better, which is exceptional for champs like Sulfurion and Volcanos and that sort of thing. HP burners just in general, love that one. That one is okay. And I think this one is maybe like sort of an okay filler for some champions that do fear and damage. The others are, so it's definitely weighted towards the mythicals and the burn legendary.
This chaos. Stay tuned to our social media channels and keep an eye out in game, as these relics will be available in smaller events and tournaments during Chaos Awakes.
There we go.
And that's everything for this sneak peek.
Okay.
Don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment letting us know what you think of relics.
So the relics will be available for events and tournaments. I would be surprised if the mythical is up for anything. Like a mythical relic just being available. Like I don't have a single mythical relic, so don't expect that to be like log in 3 days in a row, get your mythical. No. They might put it in for like winning a champion training tournament or perhaps winning a champion chase. Maybe, but unlikely. I think the Fire Skull is pretty likely to show up for something. I think that's pretty likely. I think that's pretty hyped up. I could see that being a Titan event reward or a Hero's Path reward. I could see that being a top reward or giving fragments for tournaments or stuff. So I'd look out for that. They might throw in like a couple of the epics, just, epic here or there, just for the sake of it, really, from an event dungeon tournament or something. I think they did that with the Hatter's Reserve, whoever do the event tournament and get this thing. I could see that being a thing. But yeah, I think that they'll probably cash. I think that this the Fire Skull is going to be the cash cow of like the semi-obtainable one if you like go hard. And really, if you spend money, you could get this thing and you want it because it's going to go away. It's limited time. You want it for all your burners. Go get them. So I think that I am expecting them to milk that fiery bony cow. Yeah, that's my guess. We'll see. And if they do put a mythical up for grabs guaranteed, I'll be very surprised. But hey, there we go. I actually feel like it's a pity that these mythicals are not just permanent. I feel it's a pity that these are not permanently in the game. I think it would make sense for them to be permanently available. I think it's a bit weird to have the burn one. To have this is sort of like this fiery fist is like an alternative to Cat's Gaze. It's a bit weird that this and the Cat's Gaze will both be gone. Strange. I don't know. Anyway, it is what it is. There we go, guys. Tons of news. Ooh, games in maintenance. Cool. Right, that's it. That's all the news for today. I said we just do it all in one giant video. I don't know if it's good or bad. Who knows? I'll see you tomorrow for the CvC stream for another long haul. See you then. Goodbye.